That's what had my jaw on the floor. I'm like, they kissed? Like, I had to they kissed? Welcome to Vida Rosa. I'm your host, Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about The Ultimatum, South Africa. But before we begin, I would like for everyone to check out my website where you can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing right here and right here. Click the QR code right here, or you can click the link down below to go to my website. I'm having a huge sale, so make sure you don't miss out. Like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So many people recommend this show for me to watch, and I wasn't gonna watch it in the beginning, but I decided to give it a chance, and I was not disappointed. Okay, mind you, I do not believe in the concept of this show. I believe if you feel the need to bring someone on a show like this or even give them an ultimatum, you should just leave, because clearly they don't see the value in you to marry you. But as far as entertainment goes, this show blows the American version out the water. I can't even lie. So I'm going to start with the hosts, Salamina and Hausa. I hope I'm saying that right. But they are a very beautiful couple. They've been together for 16 years. And let me say, it was refreshing to see someone who is not Nick and Vanessa hosting a show. Because if I would have saw them, I promise I would have turned it right off, y'all. I would have turned it right off. But I appreciated these two. They came in and did what needed to be done, except for at the reunion. We're going to get to that. Let's start off with Ruth and Isaac. So they've been together for 2 years and they're a long distance couple. But what really threw me off from them is that she can't call him and talk on the phone. They just mainly text each other. She's never met his family. Obviously, she's the one that's giving the ultimatum, so she feels like he does not take her seriously, and so that's why she brought him here. This is what I mean. I hate the concept of this show, because if I was your friend, I would just tell you to leave that man alone. Why are you even giving him the time of day to treat you like that? So then we have Tabby and Genesis, and they've been together for 7 years. 7 years, I believe, since college. I just didn't see the chemistry between these two. They're one of those couples that have been together for so long. It seems like the romance is gone. It's not there. And he just seems very nonchalant in general towards their relationship. And it just, whatever y'all had, it just seems to have fizzled out. If there was a flame to begin with, I just didn't get that from them. Genesis gave the same old excuse: his finances aren't ready. Well, if your finances haven't been ready in 7 years, let this woman go find a man that is ready. Then we have Kanya and Kateko. I hope I'm saying that right. They've been together for a year, and she's giving him the ultimatum to marry her. Then we have Lebo and Nola. They have been together for a year and a half, and she said that he is a big flirt, and he pretty much gaslights her, saying that she's insecure, and that's why she feels that way about how he interacts with women. And obviously she's the one issuing the ultimatum. And yeah, like from the beginning, you can kind of see the lack of trust on her end, and what seems like disrespect on his. Like he just doesn't seem to uphold her or uplift her, put her on a pedestal the way you should your woman in a relationship. He doesn't have the boundaries he should have. You could see that from the very beginning. Then we have Siza Kele, which I'm gonna call her Siza because that's what people on the show were calling her, and Lindile. Now this couple is one of the ones that are really throwing me off, because not only is this the only couple where the man is issuing the ultimatum, they've only been together for 6 months. And I know they said that they were friends or whatever beforehand, but still, it's only been 6 months. Now, SZA does say she's not ready for marriage. She doesn't know if she wants kids, and so I could see why he doesn't want to waste his time, but to come on this show, it just seems way too early. I don't know. Something about him throws me off as well. He also gives that he's a little bit indifferent. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. He said he's an actor and a model. I'm wondering, did he come on this show for exposure? Did he do this for clout? I don't know. Also, I might be a little biased because he reminds me of somebody I used to talk to. So I don't know if I'm having like a Usher moment. You remind me of someone that I once knew type of thing. I don't know. And finally, we have Courtney and Aiden. And they are the token white couple. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. I really don't think, like, I understand in South Africa, you know, white people exist. White people inhabit South Africa because of colonization. But nonetheless, they do exist there. I just don't know that this show needed a token white couple. I just never got from either one of them that they were actually interested in any of the people there. You know what I'm saying? They were almost like placeholders. They just overall felt out of place to me. But they've been together for 7 years as well. And from what she said, he is unemployed. So I feel like that's the main issue. The couples are mixing and mingling because they are going to choose someone else to be their trial spouse for the next 3 weeks. A lot of the men were after Ruth. A lot of the men were flirting with SZA. She has that very giggly batting of the eyes. Like, she has that personality. We have Kanya, who is bored of every man that she comes in contact with. I mean, she might as well start yawning and just go to sleep as they're talking. While they were all together, Tabby felt completely ignored by Genesis. She felt like he was mixing and mingling with all the women and wasn't talking to her, and it really hurt her feeling so bad that she stormed out crying. Aiden came over and comforted her. And then we have Nola. He's flirting heavily in front of Lebo's face. Lebo was feeling some type of way seeing him flirt with other women, but it's like, Lebo, you brought him here and you already said he has these ways. Why would you do that to yourself? But she really was letting her insecurity show by calling him out in front of everybody, getting mad at him. It's like, that's the whole reason why we're here. This is what was getting on my nerves with Lisa from last season. She was getting her feelings seeing other people flirt with her. Man, it's like, that's the whole point. Like, why are y'all doing that? Although, I will say Lebo has a reason to feel the way she does. So then we get to the dinner where they choose their partners. Ruth ended up choosing Nola, and he accepted. I thought she would choose Lindile because they kind of had like a little flirtationship going on, and he was kind of thrown off and shocked himself. And then we saw Courtney. She chose Genesis instead of Kateko. His face was kind of cracked because he thought they had a connection as well. You could tell that if the tables were turned, he would have chosen Courtney. And SZA was also very disappointed because I think she wanted to choose Genesis. Genesis kind of struggled with it because he didn't know if he was going to get along with Courtney because of cultural differences, which is fair, but he did end up choosing her. SZA started crying and she got up and left. And is it because she wanted to be with Genesis? Like, I don't know. Like, the outburst did kind of come out of nowhere. And Kanya, this is when she first started showing her little mean girl ways. She was like, I don't know if she's laughing or crying. Why would she be laughing and storm out like she's upset? She wanted to call her out for being a drama queen. SZA can be a little extra, but it didn't deserve a nasty attitude. She's crying about the fact that she wants to leave with Lindile, but she's not necessarily ready for marriage. And that's very understandable because y'all have only been together for 6 months. I cannot stress that enough. Like, I can understand why she is hesitant. Like, why is he trying to force her to get married so fast? But at the same time, if you don't want marriage at all in the near future, it's only fair to go ahead and set him free and let him find the wife that he's so desperately looking for, clearly. But she ended up choosing Kateko and he accepted. Kanye was not impressed or convinced by this matchup. So then we have Lebo, who chose Isaac, and Isaac declined. And has this ever happened on the American version? I don't remember anybody ever choosing someone and the other person saying no. So that was kind of shocking. I was like, what? She says she's used to being disappointed, and it seems like her boyfriend doesn't even choose her first a lot of times. So this was just one more time for her, and I just felt so bad for her. But he ended up choosing Kanya, and she accepted. She said he's one of the only men there that she could even stand to listen to, child. So then Lebo ended up choosing Aiden, and he accepted, even though he most likely probably would have chosen Tabby and Tabby would have chosen him. So I kind of wish we could have saw that, because I feel like, they did have that little connection. And finally, Tabby and Lindile ended up together by default. So they move into their villas. First of all, these villas were set up for these people to fail, okay? These villas were set up to cause drama, okay? Because first of all, y'all gave them baby couches. So if somebody didn't want to sleep in the bed, they're not going to feel comfortable sleeping on this couch scrunched up. It was barely even a love seat. I don't know how two people sat on that thing at the same time. So they purposefully gave them small couches so the people would have to sleep in the bed together. The bedroom is out in the open where the couch and the living room area would normally be. And then they put the couch in the bedroom. Mind you, everybody is all staying together in these group of villas. So you can walk by and look through the window and see your partner laying in the bed with their trial spouse. So I feel like it was set up to be messy. And they fulfilled their purpose. Let's get Courtney and Genesis out of the way. Nothing really happened with them at all. Courtney was not willing to be touchy-feely whatsoever. She had up a brick wall. I don't even know why Courtney decided to do anything like this. Clearly, you were not open to a trial marriage. You just weren't. She just was not willing to do it. Aiden wasn't even concerned about her doing anything that he wouldn't like, because he knows it takes her a lot to open up to somebody new. It took him a long time to open her up. They literally wasted film recording Courtney and Genesis. Let's talk about Tabby and Lindile. They were very platonic. Like, I don't care if they kissed and hugged. I never see any sort of sparks or any sort of romance between these two. I don't care how much they spoke it up. I don't care how much they claim to like each other. I did not see it at all. She said that he cleans and cooks and he's very caring and hospitable, thoughtful. These are things that she wanted from Genesis. So at least she got to see what it would be like to be with a partner that did those things that she always wanted. So then he met Tabby's family, and they are very skeptical of him. Her sister really does not trust him. She feels like, sorry, I'm trying to get this nap. Okay, good. Her sister really doesn't trust him and questions whether he's doing this show for publicity. I wouldn't be shocked. They ask her about Genesis and asked if he's capable of saving up for a family. And she's like, yeah, he's capable. He just doesn't. He saves up for what he wants. And it's like, Tabby, that's your answer right there. That's your answer right there. You shouldn't even need to hear anything else after that. I guess we could talk about Kanya and Isaac. In the very beginning, she tried to put him on the couch. Like I told y'all in the beginning, that couch is so small, I'm surprised it can fit one person on it, let alone Isaac. He's a nice size. Isaac was like, I'm not sleeping on this couch. I feel like in the beginning, he thought he got a prize with Kanya, and so he was willing to do a lot of the cleaning and just do a lot of extra stuff for her to try to impress her, right? He even set up a romantic dinner, roses and rose petals everywhere. This caused them to get romantic with each other. They even kissed each other. She gave him a lap dance. Within the first week of their relationship, things were moving really fast. He actually introduced her to his family, which I thought was completely wild. Seeing as Ruth said he never introduced her to his family, and he's been with her for 2 years. You've known her for 2 weeks. I would have definitely felt some type of way if I was Ruth watching this on TV. This is just proof that if he wanted to, he would. One of his people were very focused on asking cooking questions, and she just was not here for it because she said she can cook, but she doesn't like to cook and didn't plan on cooking. And the friend was just like, oh, you got a woman in the house and she's not cooking? And I was on her side until I realized she wasn't really willing to do anything in the household. But you want to dirty up dishes, but you don't want to wash dishes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to dirty up the house, but you don't want to clean. You don't want to cook. So what are you like? You do have to take on some sort of role. Unless you're the main breadwinner in the house, you do have to participate in caring for the household. You just have to. Your partner don't have to run around being your maid, cleaning up after you. Isaac's calling her out for that, and she feels like he's picking a fight with her because she was all over him in the beginning, but now she's being distant. That really caused a big blow up between the two of them. So he storms out and he goes and talks to Lindile, and he tells Lindile all about, she said, what do you bring to the table? And she's like, I am the table. And her expectations are high, but she doesn't feel the need to, add value to the relationship. And he said that she doesn't cook on the weekends, but does that mean she doesn't cook at all? He called her dirty for letting the dishes pile up. He says that she doesn't work, but I thought she was an interior decorator. Does she work, y'all? I don't know. He was throwing me off by some of the stuff he was saying. He also said she doesn't work, but she's constantly telling me to buy you things. I'm constantly, picking up things you're telling me to buy for you. She running that man. She a whole city girl when it come to Isaac. I hate to say it, but she running that man pockets. I was like, he was upset. When Isaac came and talked to Lindile, that was Tabby's cue to go out and talk to Kanya. Kanya tells Tabby that he's incapable of taking care of her, and she wasn't trying to split groceries, and that he's cheap. I don't know whose side to take, y'all, because I could see Kanya running that man pockets, but I could also see him over exaggerating and acting like she's not doing anything when she's doing something just not what you want her to do, not going above and beyond. She is having a hard time coming to terms that her boyfriend is here with someone else. And really, she just has it out for SZA, I believe. She's very jealous, but pretending not to be, stays shading her, always saying something about her weight, just being really nasty. Whenever Kanya found out that SZA met Kateko's mom through FaceTime, she was very bothered, okay? She acted like, she met her mom. That's nothing. Mind you, her and SZA are going back and forth. And so she asked her if they did the nasty. And SZA said, not yet. So that made Kanya mad. She had to say, well, we've been celibate since September. Basically, if he were to sleep with you, he's just using you for that and that alone. And basically, she called them both sluts. She was just being very nasty to her in general, policing the way she speaks and the way she laughs and the way she responds to certain people's conversation. It just didn't make any sense why she just came for SZA like that unless you're jealous. Like, SZA didn't do anything wrong in this situation. All of it was just uncalled for, but SZA really did handle it very well. She handled it better than I would, child. Because I would have had to point out that lace and how everybody could see it squeezing her forehead. When it came down to Kanya having to say what it is that her and Isaac have done, she lied about them kissing, but said that they have taken a bath and seen each other naked. Like, you might as well said y'all kissed. Don't nobody believe nothing didn't happen after that. Kateko and SZA, okay, they're very flirty. I would say between these two and Nola and Ruth, they have the most chemistry, very flirty. I was really shocked when they kissed on the first night. Like, I was taken aback because on the American version, they at least try to hold off. You know what I'm saying? They try to pretend like I'm having a hard time with this. They hem and haw. They're like, act like they have such a little dilemma about it. But on this show, they just dive right in, okay? They were kissing on the first night. And I'm just like, that's what had my jaw on the floor. I'm like, they kissed? Like, I had to they kissed? I'm not going to lie. The whole baby voice that she does and she kind of behaves in a childlike manner almost. She's one of those women that get very almost ditzy around men or, I didn't mean to drop my pencil. Oh, let me pick it up. She does have that kind of personality, I'm not going to lie. But they were very big on PDA. They were kissing in the communal areas, by the pool, just out there in the yard where anybody could just come out on the balcony and see them giggling and laughing. It's like they were putting on a spectacle on purpose. I wouldn't even be surprised if SZA was doing that to get up under Kanye's skin. Because why would she not? Kanye been rude and nasty to this girl from the very beginning. Courtney ended up pulling Kateko to the side and telling him that he should stop letting Kanye treat him like a punching bag and that they shouldn't be together. I'm sorry. Where did that come from? That kind of came out of nowhere, which she do talk to him crazy. But a lot of people are seeing that. So like I said earlier, she did meet Kateko's mom on FaceTime, and the mama went in on Kanye. She said she felt like Kanye has traumatized him, and basically he needs to heal. He needs to get away from her and heal. She could very well be him mentally for all we know. You know what I'm saying? From what I've seen, I wouldn't be surprised, okay? And I do think he probably really does need to get away from her, but child, might be too late. So then let's move on to Aiden and Lebo. Very much friendship vibes. They never had any sort of romantic connection. So instead of just sitting around in the house, child, I guess they decided one night to go spy on all the other couples. This was Lebo's excuse to go spy on Nola. That's what she really wanted to do, because she clearly doesn't trust him. So as they were peeking in his window trying to see what's going on, they ended up catching her. But she was mad because she saw that they were holding hands in the bed. And we're going to get to what they were doing. You know, he's sitting up there lying to her. And when Ruth came out, she just told the truth. Like, yeah, we were holding each other's hands. She's looking at him like, but you said y'all weren't. So right there, you could tell that he be lying dead to her face, gaslighting her and everything else. And the truth ain't in him nowhere. So once she found out the truth, she stormed off and he followed her in order to gaslight her some more. And then here come Ruth. Now, mind you, Ruth has a point. She said that you're ruining my experience because you're spying on your ex, and that's not what we're here for. This is my trial husband, and I should be able to spend time with him without having to worry about you interrupting. She ain't wrong. But in this moment, it's like, girl, would you please go sit down? Don't nobody want to hear you say that right now? Are you crazy? And Lebo knows deep down inside this man ain't no good. So why stick around if you got to police his every move? Like, I just don't get it. And even when she took Aiden to meet one of her friend couldn't understand why she would sign up to do something like this, because she knows how insecure Lebo is with their relationship. So then we see later on that Isaac came and apologized to Lebo for how he rejected her at that table. And she said that she didn't take it personally, but I'm glad she also shut him down, because he's also like, well, we probably could have been some. She's like, no, we'll be good friends. And it's like, don't try to circle back and use me for sloppy seconds, because it's not working out with Kanye. Finally, let's talk about Ruth and Nola. So when I tell you, on the first night, they kissed too. And mind you, my mouth was on the ground. I can't believe they're kissing. I cannot believe they're kissing. It didn't stop there. It did not stop there. And I was like, what is the first night? What? I feel like both of them came in with the agenda. For them to jump on each other that quick, both of them had an agenda. Ruth has said it out of her mouth that there is a disconnect with Isaac, and she feels he doesn't take her seriously. And I feel like she wanted to push his buttons. And I feel like Nola, he gonna try to get it in with anybody that give him some attention. He's a player from the Himalayas, okay? And he just has no regard whatsoever for Lebe. He'll push the limits. He'll do whatever he can to get over on her, but still have her so he could use her for whatever reason. I don't know if she cooking and cleaning for him or whatever. But he still wants to have her around and have whatever he have on the side too. Nola ends up meeting Ruth's siblings, and for whatever reason, Nola thought it would be a good idea to say on television that Isaac does not please her in the bedroom. So like I said, she had an agenda. She wanted to embarrass Isaac on television. You can't tell me she really wanted to be with this man. She felt slighted by him, and she was being a woman scorned, because if you really love somebody, you would never put that on Front Street. You would not, the way she did, not behind his back like that, to her family who he hasn't met. Her family is asking Nola questions, and he's trying to play that same gaslighting thing that he plays on Lebo with them. They're not buying it though. And he's talking in circles on purpose. Like, he literally said in his confessionals, I don't want to answer this question, so I'm going to keep talking and talking and talking until they forget what they asked. I was like, what? He's an A1 gaslighter and narcissist. He wants to claim he's not a flirt, but then he says it's as natural to him as breathing is. And that's another reason why I think Ruth was in here for play as well. The signs were there. The signs were there. I don't think she really cared about Nola either. She was here for a good time, not a long time. I believe it was Lindile, Aiden, and Nola. And they're talking about, what they have done with the women. Nola is trying to press everybody for their tea, trying to see what all they done, but lying about kissing Ruth when he done went all the way with her. And then the fact that night he came home to Ruth and said he wanted to do it to her all day long. Just disgusting. Oh my God, he is so... Oh, he made my skin crawl. Like, just the sight of his face, I was just like, oh, he's so... making me itch. They saw straight through him, especially Aiden. So after talking to Nola, Aiden came home and told Lebo that he did not trust Lebo and saw many red flags in him, and she just didn't want to hear it. She was like, if you don't have anything solid to substantiate any of these claims, then I don't want to hear it. So he tried to tell her, but she didn't want to hear it. So then once again, all the men are together and they're asking, how far has everybody went? He was lying from the time he sat down to the time he got up and talked to Isaac one-on-one. He lied the entire time, but had the nerve to want to point fingers at everybody else and antagonize everybody else. So Isaac confronted him one-on-one, and he still lied. And then got jealous that Isaac went and had a one-on-one conversation with Lebo. He got mad about that, had the nerve. But you sitting up here sleeping with Ruth. Meanwhile, the women, they're having the same conversation, and during the conversation, Ruth lied about going all the way with Nola in order to spare her feelings. But once it became a one-on-one thing, she felt the need to get everything off her chest because she felt very guilty about it. And she told her, we slept together not once, not twice, but thrice. I know that was like a dagger. Ooh, I felt so bad for Lebo. Oh my God, no, that hurt. It's like that's all she could take hearing, and she just had to get up and walk away. So y'all, that was episodes 1 through 5. I feel like this video is getting a little bit too long. So what I'm going to do is stop the review here and then pick up with episode 6 through the reunion. And we'll finish it with the next video. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below. This show is much wilder. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Peace.